What's up, you guys? Steve here with breaking news regarding the stimulus package negotiations. As this morning on the Fox Business Network, President Donald Trump announced that stimulus package talks will be resuming. That's right, after Tuesday when he called a halt to them because he said they were, quote, not working out. Now he said they're working out. And we're going to be starting up talks once again. And he said for a bigger stimulus package, something more than just a simple airline bailout. So I'm going to be getting you caught up on all the details in this video. And in addition to that, many of you, as soon as this unfolded, were asking me why I was so optimistic. Well, I'm going to be sharing with you guys why and some details to what I believe is really going on that I think a lot of people are missing right now. And I think it's going to make you very happy. So I'm going to get you caught up on all the details. And if you like that, if you could do me a quick favor, once again, it'll just take a second. I would appreciate it. Smash the like button. YouTube channel success is pretty much based on interaction. So when you smash the like button and leave comments, it helps me out. Thank you so much. And also, if you'd like to stay up to date on everything that's rolling out, be sure to smash the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that way as soon as I upload these videos, you can be notified. And if you don't already, once again, be sure to follow me on Instagram at SteveRam3. All right, you guys, so let's dive right into the breaking news that came out just this morning as President Donald Trump announced that stimulus package negotiations for a comprehensive package should resume. Let's go to the quote. He said, I shut down talks 2 days ago because they weren't working out. Now they're starting to work out. We're starting to have some very productive talks. I said, look, we're not getting anywhere, shut it down. I didn't want to waste time, but in any event, we got back. Both sides, very capable. We got back. We started talking again, and we're talking about airlines, and we're talking about a bigger deal than airlines. We're talking about a deal with $1,200 per person. We're talking about other things. Now, when Nancy Pelosi's office was asked to respond to these comments, they did not receive a response. However, prior to Donald Trump stopping negotiation talks, she said that she was very optimistic that they were getting close to reaching an agreement. And after talks did stop, she resumed negotiations with White House Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin yesterday on Wednesday regarding a standalone bill to bail out the airline industry. Now, when President Donald Trump was asked about Nancy Pelosi, he responded with the following, and I quote, "She wants it to happen too. She doesn't want it not to happen because it's good for our country. We really need it. It wasn't our workers' fault. It wasn't our airlines' fault that China did this terrible thing to us." So President Donald Trump's comments this week have ignited a sense of urgency into negotiations while simultaneously giving Americans whiplash. As I said, I do believe this is a negotiating tactic. I'm going to be diving into this in more depth very shortly in the video here. And I do believe this is going to be bringing us closer to an agreement. So please remain cautiously optimistic and understand that we're dealing with high-level negotiations here. We need to be looking at this with an overall big picture perspective and not take any little thing for face value. We need to be asking ourselves why. Why is it that they're doing the things that they do? And understand that we should not be responding to these with just emotional reactions. There is logic behind what's taking place. Now, when President Donald Trump was asked why things initially shut down, he responded with the following. They were trying to get things and we were trying to get things, but I don't want to play games. Then we reopened and I see the markets are doing very well. And I do think we have a really good chance of doing something. All right, so I want to share with you guys my personal opinion. Just to clarify, this is not reporting. Just want to shed a little bit of insight into what I believe is taking place. As anybody who's involved in negotiations, sales, any sort of business, verbal strategies, will let you know that this appears to be the classic takeaway method, which is essentially, let's say you and I are having a deal. In between us is a table, and I have an item on the table that I'm trying to sell you. We're in the middle of negotiations, and then I take the item off of the table and put it away. Then, if you are not thinking strategically and you're just simply having an emotional response, you're going to respond by feeling a sense of sadness or anger because now you feel like you have lost something, even though you haven't. You didn't have it. We were in the middle of negotiations. You now feel a sense of loss to what you potentially could have had. Now, then I take the item and I put it back on the table. And I say, okay, talks are back on. Again, if you're not thinking strategically and you're just simply emotionally reacting, now you're going to have a sense of happiness and excitement because now you could have this item, even though you didn't even have it before. And now there's going to be a sense of urgency because in your mind, I took it away and I might take it away again. So now you're going to act swiftly to try to secure the item and get it before I take it away. Even though nothing has really changed at all, in your mind, if you're simply responding emotionally, you're going to start acting right away to try to get something done. Again, this is simply my opinion as to what's taking place. I believe that President Donald Trump did this to ignite a sense of urgency in Nancy Pelosi to get something done. And once again, I might be wrong. This is just my personal opinion. It is possible that maybe just President Donald Trump decided, I want to do away with stimulus right before the elections and blow my chances of getting reelected. And then he suddenly realized, oops, what did I do? And decided to put talks back on. Again, this is just my personal opinion. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And do keep in mind the fact that as soon as this started happening on Tuesday, a lot of people asked me why I was so optimistic and why I was analyzing it so much. And I actually mapped out the two possible responses that Nancy Pelosi could have. And I personally believe, this is just my opinion once again, that Nancy Pelosi is also very strategic and very smart. Even though a lot of us, including myself, do not necessarily agree with some of the decisions that she's made recently regarding negotiations, I do believe that she is looking at this at a high-level strategic perspective. And she saw the two potential responses that she could have, and she went with the better choice. As I mapped out before, her response would be that no, let's please continue to have negotiations go forward. And then it would look like she's stepping in and doing her part and that she's going to save stimulus package talks. And President Donald Trump would allow this to continue. The other response would have been for her to say, okay, fine, they're off. And then it would have looked like she was not willing to continue. It would have been, she would have blamed the president would have blamed her. But then the president's next move would have been executive action, stepping in, calling Congress incompetent and unable to come to any sort of agreement, incapable of doing their jobs, and then stepping in, providing executive actions and saving the day, to which her only response would have been to simply try to legally block his authority to do so, which would have really made her look bad. So in my personal opinion, I think she looked at the two potential responses and she decided which one was the best for her and she went with it. And it is actually the best response for all of us. And I still believe that stimulus is on the way. Once again, this is just all my personal opinion. And yesterday, Nancy Pelosi was on The View and she was asked about President Donald Trump and negotiations. And she said Trump just wants to send out a check with his name on it and wants to forget that there is even a virus or any money needed for anything else. And she said it is hard to see a clear, sane path with anything that Trump is doing. All right, you guys, so now let's get back into stimulus package negotiations. Let's get to the facts of where we left off, since they're going to be picking back up once again. So Nancy Pelosi had submitted a $2.2 trillion stimulus package known as the Revised HEROES Act. And we were all well aware of the fact that this was merely a messaging bill. Even Nancy Pelosi knew this. As Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said it would be dead on arrival in the Senate, calling it outlandish, too expensive, and full of items that had nothing to do with the pandemic. However, the provisions in there do give us some insight as to the current stances on the Democrats. Now, after that, White House Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin provided his counteroffer to that at a $1.62 trillion stimulus package. So now we are waiting for Nancy Pelosi to provide her counteroffer to that. So it is likely we're going to be seeing a stimulus package somewhere between $2.2 and $1.62 trillion. Now, let's take a look at the stances of the Democrats and the Republicans, and we're going to get some insight as to the provisions that we might see included in this new stimulus package. So it was mentioned that we can expect to see $1,200 stimulus checks as we have bipartisan agreement support from both Republicans and Democrats for another round of stimulus checks. The same amounts and same eligibility requirements are expected. However, there is an issue with whether or not people with ITINs should be receiving the stimulus check. So we're going to see what unfolds there. Additionally, we can expect to see an extension of enhanced unemployment benefits known as FPUC. Now, I'm going to go more into depth on this specific topic in videos to come. However, the Democrats' current stance is $600 per week, and it's going to be picking up from September going till the end of the year. And the Republican stance is $400 per week, picking up in September and going until the end of the year. Same eligibility requirements as pretty much anybody who lost their job due to the pandemic should expect to get this. unlike what we saw with the LWA executive memorandum. We can also expect to see some state and local government funding. Republicans have agreed up to $250 billion to be provided for this. Also, liability protection, money for pandemic-related testing and treatments, and $150 billion for schools. These are just some of the items that we know we can expect to see in this next stimulus package when an agreement is reached. Well, you guys, that is your stimulus package update as of today, Thursday, October the 7th. I hope it was helpful and informative. Once again, there was a lot of stuff in there that was just merely my personal opinion, but I'm very happy to provide you guys with this update regarding stimulus package negotiations. And once again, please remain cautiously optimistic. I do believe this is not the end and that there still is a stimulus on the way before elections. But we will see, and I'll be sure to share whatever news rolls out here on the channel. And if you haven't already, if you could do me a quick favor, once again, just smash the like button. I would appreciate it. Thank you so much. And if you'd like to stay up to date on everything that's rolling out, be sure to smash the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that way as soon as I upload videos, you can be notified. And once again, if you'd like to follow me on Instagram, be sure to do so at SteveRam3. And if you'd like to be a part of something positive and encouraging, a group of us get together on Thursday evenings and do Bible studies on Facebook at teachjesus.app. Link in the description below. And if you might be interested in some fashionable, modest women's clothing, be sure to check out my wife's website at www.nayaellaboutique.com. Link in the description below. Well, you guys, I hope this reaches you well. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.